The first anaphylactic reaction happened at a coffee shop when I was 31. One moment I was drinking a latte, the next my throat was closing, hives erupting across my skin, my blood pressure dropping so fast I collapsed. The paramedics hit me with epinephrine twice before I could breathe again. Idiopathic anaphylaxis, the allergist said after weeks of testing. Your immune system is attacking you randomly. We can't identify a specific trigger. Over 6 months I had 12 more episodes. At work, at home, in my car. Each time requiring emergency epinephrine, each time nearly killing me. I was a research scientist at the National Institute of Health, working in infectious disease epidemiology. The random attacks made it impossible to work in the lab. Dr. Alan Chin, an immunologist at Johns Hopkins, took my case. After extensive genetic testing and immune panels, he found it. Hereditary alpha-tryptophanemia syndrome, HATS, he said, showing me the genetic results. It's a rare genetic condition causing elevated mast cells. Your body is producing too much tryptase, triggering severe allergic reactions to seemingly random stimuli. Without aggressive treatment and environmental controls, you're at constant risk of fatal anaphylaxis. The treatment plan was complex. Daily medications carrying multiple EpiPens, environmental modifications to my home and workplace, and quarterly infusions of a newly approved biologic drug. The out-of-pocket costs were $65,000 annually. This is serious, Olivia, Dr. Chin said. HATS patients have died from reactions triggered by stress, temperature changes, even strong emotions. You need family support and understanding. I called my sister that evening. Bethany was 34, a corporate event planner who specialized in high-end weddings and galas. She was planning our parents' 40th anniversary party. A massive celebration scheduled for October with 200 guests. A genetic condition? Bethany's tone was skeptical. Olivia, this sounds like you're making your allergies into something bigger than they are. It's not allergies. It's a genetic disorder affecting my mast cells. I've had 12 anaphylactic reactions in 6 months. 12? That seems excessive. Are you sure you're not just having anxiety attacks? You've always been a worrier. I carry 4 EpiPens now. Dr. Chin says any reaction could be fatal. Dr. Chin is probably being dramatic. Look, I need to talk to you about Mom and Dad's party. I've booked the Riverside Country Club, hired a caterer, ordered flowers. The budget is already at $70,000. I need you there looking healthy and happy, not making everything about your medical issues. My hands were shaking, which I knew could trigger a reaction. Bethany, I might not be able to attend large gatherings. The stress alone could. Olivia, this is our parents' 40th anniversary. You're going to skip it because of some allergy drama? Do you know how that makes me look? I've told everyone my sister works at NIH that you're this brilliant scientist. Now you're going to embarrass me by not showing up. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm trying to stay alive. You're being melodramatic. Take an antihistamine and you'll be fine. I'll expect you there in October. Wear something nice. I'm thinking emerald green for the family photos. She hung up before I could respond. My parents' reaction was worse. Dad was a retired accountant, Mom a former elementary school principal. Neither had medical background, but they trusted Bethany completely. Bethany says you're making a fuss about allergies, Mom said when I called to explain my diagnosis. She's very stressed about this party, Olivia. Can you please just cooperate? Mom, I have a genetic condition. It's documented. Dr. Chin has published papers on HATS. This isn't something I'm making up. Well, Bethany knows you better than any doctor. She says you've always been prone to exaggeration. Remember when you thought you had mono in college and it was just a cold? This is different. I've had genetic testing. Genetic testing can be wrong. Bethany says you just need to manage your stress better. Maybe try yoga. I started documenting everything. Every dismissive comment from Bethany, every text minimizing my condition, every email from my parents siding with her over my medical diagnosis. I also documented my condition meticulously, every reaction, every ER visit, every treatment protocol. What my family didn't know was that my research at NIH had shifted. After my diagnosis, I'd become one of the world's leading researchers on HATS. I was collaborating with Dr. Chin and a team at CDC on a comprehensive study of hereditary mast cell disorders. We were documenting cases, analyzing genetic patterns, developing treatment protocols. Our research was groundbreaking. the largest HAT study ever conducted. And I was the lead author. Build up. Over the next 4 months, I had 6 more anaphylactic reactions despite treatment. Each one meant hours in the ER, thousands in medical bills and days of recovery. My condition was severe enough that NIH granted me modified duties. Working from home, limited lab exposure, flexible hours. Bethany called regularly about the anniversary party, never once asking about my health. I need your final confirmation for October 15th. The caterer needs a head count. Bethany, I don't think I can attend. Large crowds are a trigger. The stress of a 200-person event could what? Give you a minor allergic reaction? Take a Benadryl before you come. Olivia, I've spent $70,000 on this party. Mom and Dad are expecting their daughters there. You're not going to ruin this for everyone. I'm not trying to ruin anything. I have a serious medical condition. You have some allergy issues that you're blowing out of proportion. My friend's daughter has peanut allergies and she manages fine. You're just being difficult because you want attention. Bethany, I've been hospitalized 18 times in 8 months. Maybe you should find a better doctor. One who doesn't encourage your hypochondria. Honestly, working at NIH has made you think every little symptom is some rare disease. I tried to explain the genetic testing, the published research on HATs, the severity of mast cell disorders. She cut me off every time. I don't need a medical lecture. I need you at this party looking healthy and normal. Can you do that, or are you going to make everything about you as usual? My research paper with Dr. Chin and the CDC team was undergoing final review at the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology, one of the most prestigious publications in the field. We documented over 200 HATs patients, identified genetic markers and established treatment protocols. The paper was scheduled to publish in mid-October. The week before the anniversary party, I had my worst reaction yet. Triggered by nothing identifiable, my throat closed while I was working at home. I barely got the EpiPen injected before losing consciousness. My neighbor found me and called 911. I spent 3 days in ICU. Bethany visited once for 20 minutes. The party is in 5 days, Olivia. The doctors say you'll be discharged tomorrow. You can rest for a few days and still make it. I almost died. But you didn't. You got your EpiPen, the doctor stabilized you and now you're fine. This is exactly what I mean about dramatics. You had an allergic reaction and went to the hospital. That's normal for people with allergies. Normal for people with allergies don't spend 3 days in ICU. Because you probably panicked and made it worse. Look, I need you there. I've told everyone you're coming. If you skip out now, people will think there's family drama. Just take extra medication and you'll be fine. After she left, I checked my email. The journal had sent final confirmation. Our paper would publish on October 15th, the same day as the anniversary party. The publication included my bio. Dr. Olivia Martinez, lead researcher at the National Institute of Health, specializing in rare immunological disorders. Dr. Martinez was diagnosed with HATs in 2024 and has since become a leading expert in hereditary mast cell disorders. I replied to the journal with one request. Please send publication notifications to my listed emergency contacts, which included my parents and sister. The morning of October 15th, I was discharged from the hospital with strict orders for bed rest. I was not going to the anniversary party. I texted Bethany, I'm sorry but I can't attend. I was just discharged from ICU and my doctor has ordered complete rest. Her response was immediate, you're unbelievable. You're ruining mom and dad's party because you're jealous of the attention they're getting. This is so typical of you. I didn't respond. I went home, took my medications and tried to rest. Revelation. The anniversary party started at 2 o'clock. By 3 my phone was exploding with messages. What I didn't know was that the journal publication had gone live at noon. The automated notification system had sent alerts to all listed emergency contacts, including detailed information about the research and my role as lead author. What I also didn't know was that Dr. Sarah Williams, the CDC Director, had been invited to the anniversary party. She was my father's former colleague's daughter. They'd stayed friends over the years. Dad had invited her as a courtesy, knowing she worked in public health. Dr. Williams had received the journal publication that morning. She'd read it immediately, recognizing the significance of the research. Bethany was giving a toast when Dr. Williams stood up. "Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt," Dr. Williams said. But I need to address something that was just brought to my attention. Bethany looked annoyed. We're in the middle of toasts. This will only take a moment. Dr. Williams pulled out her phone. I received a notification this morning about a groundbreaking publication in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology. The lead author is Dr. Olivia Martinez, your daughter. My parents looked confused. Olivia works at NIH, but she's not a doctor, Dad said. She has a PhD in epidemiology and immunology, Dr. Williams corrected. And she's just published the most comprehensive study on hereditary alpha tryptophanemia syndrome ever conducted. 200 patients, genetic analysis, treatment protocols. This paper will change how we diagnose and treat rare mast cell disorders. The room went quiet. I don't understand, Mom said. Olivia has allergies. She's not researching anything. Dr. Williams's expression hardened. Olivia doesn't have allergies. She has HATS, a potentially fatal genetic condition. According to this paper, she's had 23 documented anaphylactic reactions in 8 months. She's been hospitalized multiple times. And she's the leading researcher in the world on this condition because she's living with it. Bethany's face went pale. That can't be right. Olivia has been exaggerating some minor allergy issues. Minor. Dr. Williams pulled up something on her phone. I'm looking at the case studies in this paper. Patient 1A is your sister. She's had multiple near-fatal reactions. The paper documents her ICU admission from last week, the one she nearly died from. She was in the hospital for 3 days, Bethany said defensively. She's fine now. She's alive now. There's a difference. Dr. Williams turned to address the room. Hereditary alpha tryptophanemia syndrome has a mortality rate of 12% within 5 years of diagnosis without proper treatment. It's not allergies. It's a genetic disorder that causes random, severe anaphylactic reactions that can be triggered by stress, temperature changes, or nothing at all. My parents looked at each other, then at Bethany. Where is Olivia? Dad asked quietly. She refused to come, Bethany said. She said she was too sick, but I think she just wanted to make this about her. She was discharged from ICU this morning, Dr. Williams interrupted. According to the journal's contributor notes, she completed final edits on this paper from her hospital bed. She's literally been conducting groundbreaking medical research while experiencing the condition she's researching. Dr. Williams looked at Bethany. You told people she was exaggerating minor allergies? She never explained it was this serious. According to the acknowledgments section of her paper, she thanks her research team and medical providers for their support, in the absence of family understanding. That's a pretty clear statement. One of the guests, a doctor, stood up. I just pulled up the paper. This is incredible work. Dr. Martinez has identified genetic markers that could help diagnose HATS earlier. This will save lives. Another guest checked her phone. The CDC just tweeted about this publication. They're calling it a landmark study in rare disease research. Bethany sat down heavily. Mom started crying. Dad pulled out his phone and called me. I didn't answer. Dr. Williams wasn't finished. I need to say something else. I'm the CDC Director. I oversee public health research and funding. This study is exactly the kind of work we prioritize. Rare disease research conducted by scientists with lived experience. Dr. Martinez will likely be invited to present this research at national conferences. She may receive federal grants to continue this work. She looked directly at my parents. Your daughter is a leading expert in a rare, potentially fatal condition that she's personally surviving. And from what I'm hearing, you've spent months telling her she's exaggerating allergies and being dramatic. The room was silent except for the sound of my mother crying. Bethany tried to speak. I didn't know, she never said. She told you she had a genetic condition, Dr. Williams said quietly. She told you she'd been hospitalized repeatedly. She told you she might not survive large gatherings. You told her to take a Benadryl and stop being dramatic. Resolution. The party effectively ended after Dr. Williams's revelation. Guests spent the rest of the event reading the journal publication, discussing the research implications and asking my parents about my condition. Several doctors in attendance expressed shock that the family had dismissed such a serious diagnosis. My parents called repeatedly that evening. I finally answered around 8. Olivia, we had no idea. Mom said, her voice thick from crying. Dr. Williams showed us your paper. Why didn't you tell us how serious this was? I did tell you. Multiple times. You told me I was being dramatic. Bethany said you were exaggerating. Bethany isn't a doctor. Dr. Chen is. He diagnosed me. He co-authored this paper with me. You chose to believe Bethany over documented medical evidence. We're so sorry. Can we come see you? No. I'm on bed rest. Doctor's orders. Dad got on the phone. Olivia, Dr. Williams says you're doing groundbreaking research. We had no idea you were so accomplished. I've worked at NIH for 6 years. You've never asked about my research. We thought you just worked in a lab. I do work in a lab. I'm a lead researcher in infectious disease and now in immunology. This paper has 200 patients because I spent 8 months building a research cohort while experiencing the condition myself. I was working while you told me I was making up symptoms. Bethany sent a long text that night. I'm so sorry. I had no idea it was this serious. I thought you were just having anxiety about the party. Can we talk? I didn't respond. The journal publication went viral in medical communities. Within a week, I received interview requests from medical news outlets, invitations to present at 3 conferences, and preliminary interest from the NIH Director's office about expanded research funding. Dr. Williams called personally. Olivia, the CDC wants to fund a follow-up study. We're looking at a 5-year multi-million-dollar grant to establish the first national HATS registry. We'd like you to lead it. I'd be honored. I'm sorry about what happened at your parents' party. I didn't plan to make a scene, but when I realized everyone thought you were faking a condition you're literally the world's expert on, I couldn't stay silent. Thank you for speaking up. 2 months later, Bethany sent another message. Mom and Dad want to have a family dinner to celebrate your publication. They've been telling everyone about your research. Can you come? I replied, I'm focusing on my health and my research right now. Maybe another time. The truth was simpler. They'd spent 8 months dismissing my life-threatening condition as allergy drama, while I was conducting groundbreaking research on that exact condition. They told me to take Benadryl while I was building the largest HATS patient registry in medical history. They'd accused me of seeking attention while I was literally dying and simultaneously saving lives through my research. Dr. Williams hadn't destroyed my family relationships. She'd simply shared publicly available medical research at a party where people were discussing why I wasn't there. My family had spent months prioritizing party planning over my survival, calling me dramatic while I was documenting case studies in ICU, dismissing my expertise while I was publishing landmark research. The journal publication didn't lie. The genetic testing didn't exaggerate. The 23 documented anaphylactic reactions were real, life-threatening, and exactly what my research was designed to help other patients survive. I'm 32 now, managing my HATS with the protocols my own research helped establish. Leading a CDC-funded national study. Presenting at medical conferences. Building a life where my expertise is respected and my condition is taken seriously. My family wanted to celebrate my success now that it was publicly validated. But they'd had 8 months to believe me, support me, trust my medical knowledge. They'd chosen to believe I was dramatic instead. The research spoke for itself. And unlike my sister's party planning, peer-reviewed medical science doesn't care about family opinions.